Had enough? Or do you want more?
You think that's enough to defeat me?
I'm going to show you a whole world of pain. Uh-oh. Okay, I've had enough. Now, feel the power of the Moonstone. I mean, Doloran. I mean, whatever. Die!
This cannot be the end. Good always wins.
One might think Sailor Overmoon hadn't done her research. Let's hope she stays dead, too.
We could turn her into an undead. Ha ha ha! What a wonderfully nasty thought. Ooh, even I found that funny. Honestly? But you're the good one of the two of us. Well, I have to develop somehow. I can see we've fallen into evil. Denying it is exhausting. Is this some kind of trick?
Daughter, what have you done? First Grimly, and now Yaina too. Don't expect any mercy from me. I will find you and stop you. My army is approaching Doloran, and then we will talk.
Yeah, bring it on.
Much as I hate to interrupt the various dialogues, Tanos was still a powerful opponent whom Thalya wasn't yet ready to meet. So there was no shame in running away to gain more power before facing this battle.
Coward. All right, fall back. I need a break after that battle.
The invincible Evil's army took Doloran by storm and captured the hearts of its inhabitants. And I mean that literally. Strange hobby, but hey, others collect stamps and such. And the mighty Yaina Overproud too kicked the daisies and saw the bucket from below. Now that didn't make much sense. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that happens when you hire translators that just run the text through Google Translate. But that's enough digression for now. So, Yaina was dead, and Thalya and the fabled Evil's army hit the road before Tanos showed up. Soon after, he stood over his companion's corpse. He could do nothing but mourn. And again he screamed his pain into the world with a long, drawn-out "No!" in a manner suspiciously reminiscent of Grimly's death, which of course had absolutely nothing to do with going easy on the game's budget. Meanwhile, the fleet set sail for the mainland. Once the army was back on solid land, Thalya torched the captured ships. She currently had no use for them. Yeah, I know. But villains never were big into foresight. Then the cruel Evil's army moved deeper into the countryside, towards a place called Serenity. Once upon a catapult, Termite Island lay in ruins, but the marauding Evil had not yet finished its international destruction tour. The next performance was scheduled for the cozy town of Serenity. The all-devastating Evil's army landed very close to there. The skeptical of all life evil had left Termite Island far behind it and had come ashore very close to the quiet town of Serenity. Serenity was a quiet little town, mainly known for being the world's greatest arms exporters. This in itself was not a contradiction, for as quiet and peaceful as Serenity was, somewhere in the world there was always someone who needed arms. And the quiet and peaceful inhabitants of Serenity were more than willing to supply others with instruments of death, including the solvent Evil's armies, as long as the price was right. Now, however, that was going to be their downfall, as the all-destroying Evil had no intention of allowing anyone to supply its enemies with weapons. And so it was that Serenity's fate was sealed.
But there's a huge army in Serenity that doesn't look the least bit serene. It's more likely to be a problem.
On the other hand, there were a number of armories near Serenity with siege engines on their lots. These would certainly be useful for making that huge army somewhat smaller.
Excellent idea! Go, you vicious dogs! Capture those armories, and then we'll go give the good people of Serenity a demonstration of their own products. Call it targeted advertising.
The necromantic evil had built a crypt. There, undead were able to resurrect any horde creatures who bit the dust. This would most likely lead to the troops our cannon fodder evil being even less careful with them. Well, the people of Serenity were concerned. While as weapons dealers they were accustomed to negotiating with the most disgusting creatures, having the despicable evil's army right at their doorstep was still disconcerting. So they sent a troop out to discreetly persuade the new arrivals to move. Obviously, they didn't count on the insidious killer machine the guileful evil had already built in its dungeon. Serenity's army was almost indecently large. The leader on duty therefore decided to send a punitive expedition into the overworked evil's dungeon. Naturally, they didn't have a chance down there. In addition, those cowards in Serenity also sent out a well-equipped patrol to cause trouble in the overworld, but only trouble for evil creatures, of course. The introspective evil simply tinkered away. Apparently, it had forgotten there was a huge army in Serenity capable of turning the dungeon into a pile of ashes at any time. In order to prevent this, it would make sense to capture the armories and use the siege weapons located there. The drooling for weapons evil's army had discovered one of the armories. They quickly decided to capture it. The unstoppable evil's army had taken the eastern armory and captured a catapult.
Ah, a catapult. Excellent. We can sow chaos and destruction. How does this thing work?
This was one of those newfangled point-and-click catapults, which could be fired fully automatically without a crew. Very handy indeed. Just press the appropriate button, select the target, designate it, and away you go. Catapult shot. Fly and win. A wonderful hit that was rewarded with moans and the sound of cracking bones. Excellent. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's the death-dealing catapult shot. Ha 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 ha! A wonderful hit that was rewarded with moans and the sound of cracking bones. Excellent.
That's one of those armories. Go, destroy that... capture that thing.
The megalomaniac evil now had 2 catapults, so now 2 areas could be philanthropized at the same time.
Excellent. We should give that a try. What did that band used to sing again? Open fire!
Catapult shot. Fly and win. The scouting around Evil's army had discovered an armory. The siege weapons there would be perfect for its arsenal.
Excellent! Let's take it! Forward the army of evil!
The greedy evil had taken an armory and gotten a siege weapon in its greedy clawed hand.
Excellent. We should field test it as soon as possible.
wicked evil creatures fell upon Serenity and began decimating the defenders. Uncertain of death, a lack of alternatives led them to fight back against the invaders.
They're going to regret that. Destroy them! Poke out their eyes, tweak their noses, give them the finger! Time to die! For the enemy, I mean.
The creatures of evil had spotted a powerful patrol from Serenity. Hit and sunk. This catapult shot is going to leave a lasting impression. Serenity had increased its defensive forces. More enemies, more honor, thought the unscrupulous evil, and continued to work on their destruction.
Right. There'll never be a better time to attack. Follow me, evil creatures! For me! I mean for the deviant evil! Cut them down, pillage and burn! Give them wedgies!
Serenity had been razed to the ground. The destructive evil's army had done a great job here. The hostile evil briefly mourned its former weapons dealer, but then shrugged. Somewhere out there, it would find a new supplier. Thalya instructed the army to march further north towards the coast. Why? Well, I don't want to give that away just yet.
Exactly! Let's get going! Let's go!
What happened to your good side?
My good... Oh, no idea. Good question. But it's kind of refreshing when she keeps her gob shut, isn't it?
Well, I can't argue with you there. And so, the evil's army marched off once more. The hungry, hungry ogre. What was it with the perverted evil in those ships, anyway? Why did it always destroy them instead of saving them for another day? As may be, the legendary evil's army once again stood on the coast, wanting to set sail. But this time for the not-quite-so-free cities. But, as I said, it needed a ship to do so. Fortunately, the harbor town of Lotsawinter was not far off, and luckily there was an ally in the area. The gruesome evil's army once again stood on the coast of the Western Kingdoms. There, off the coast, lay the not-quite-so-free cities, a place of indecent wealth. In the planned march on the capital, there was no way these cities could be left standing, as otherwise they would attack the tactical evil from behind. To get there, it needed a ship. Again, we've been here before. Since the capable evil's creatures were still incapable of producing anything that floated, they had to borrow them from the natives. Nearby lay the harbor town of Lotsawinter, home to many famous heroes and a famous seafaring town. Unfortunately, Lotsawinter was extremely well guarded and a meeting place for extremely experienced, not to say high-level heroes. The prepared-to-make-sacrifices evil's miserable creatures wouldn't stand a chance here.
Then why are we here? That doesn't make any sense.
Easy there. However, a mighty creature was camped nearby, an ogre. Its fighting prowess would allow it to meet Lotsawinter's defenders head-on. But first of all, the creature had to be persuaded to join the forces of evil.
No problem. I'll just promise him a beating if he doesn't get a move on.
Interesting idea, but I did just say that he's really powerful, didn't I? He'd mop the floor with everything we could muster against him.
Well, let's have a look at him first, then. Talk first, fight later. I will destroy this man.
Lotsawinter's heroes were somewhat underemployed and always on the lookout for treasures and problems. Accordingly, the not-so-secret evil's creatures were soon spotted, and a group of adventurers immediately set out to beat the stuffing out of these walking experience points.
Yeah, just let them come. Tear their heads off, bite their fingernails.
Having a look around Evil's army had reached the ogre.
Hey, I am Ogre.
Obviously, this creature wouldn't be winning any intelligence contests.
Me happy help you. Moshing heroes fun. But me little thirsty.
before me start, should drink something.
Of course, it couldn't be that easy. A large quantity of beer would first have to be delivered to the ogre in order to convince him to help out. With a groan, the Brewmaster Evil set to work.
Okay, you nasty little creatures, you heard the word. Time to brew some beer. Move! Hit those brewing kettles. I want to smell barley instead of mold down here. Okay, Ogre, we brought you your beer. Now it's time. Wait a minute, where did the beer go? Did you already? And hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Stay where you are. We have a city to attack.
Beer make ogre hungry. Ogre get quick snack.
The ogre greedily staggered towards a small nearby farm. The sheep could be heard bleating happily, which quickly turned into a panicked bleating as the sheep saw the ogre approach.
Yummy, tasty sheep.
The ogre decimated the sheep instead of attacking Lotsawinter. It was obvious that Thalya was unable to get this beast under control, much to the impatient evil's displeasure.
What? Why is it now my problem when that stupid meatbag gets distracted by a couple of sheep?
Well, I'm just the narrator, not the General of Evil. Anyway, there was a repulsively good town very close by, which could perhaps be brought closer to evil in the meantime.
Fine, let's take care of it. Get out of there, twist their arms, smear finger paint in their eyes.
Ogre now, fool.
Wow! How many did you eat there, greedy guts?
Well, 1 sheep, 2 sheep, 3 sheep, 4.
Oh, crap.
And now he's taking a nap. My goodness, my grandchildren will be doing the narration by the time he attacks the town. Anyway, seeing as how ogres were hardcore alcoholics, one could assume that 1 or 2 or 20 or so beers would wake him up. With a heartfelt groan, the beer brewing evil went back to work. The drunken evil had built another brewing kettle. A fabulous decision, one which would surely benefit the Horde's alcoholics. The brewing evil had produced a huge number of barrels of beer, enough to keep several orcs busy for days. Hopefully, it was enough for one for the road for the ogre. The ogre's big, wide, bulging eyes brimmed with tears because he still hadn't got any beer. And even though the hoarding evil had already produced enough of it, come on, give him the stuff already.
Ogre very, very sad. Give Ogre beer.
And again, the ogre was supplied with a truly absurd amount of beer, which he tossed down in just a few seconds.
Okay, that will have to do for now. Get a move on, roly-poly. It's time to flatten Lotsawinter.
Okay, but Ogre bit rusty. Ogre must do warm-up fight. Probably opponents in forest. Opponents good for warm-up fight. Opponents from forest maybe also burn for small fire later.
What? Wait, where are you going? But the city is... No! Come back, you idiot!
And so it was that the armies of evil set out to follow the ogre, away from Lotsawinter.